Dear Customer of the Podcast returns. Hey everybody, this is Sean. Some of you will recall a year ago or so, we had a short season of the podcast. I got a lot of feedback from that, and it seemed people really enjoy the loss prevention stories and some of the fiction stories. So we're going to lean into that this season. I also wanted to try to figure out a way to cheer everybody up. If you're listening to this podcast or watching this video, you've probably been shit on in the last 2 years. And just by chance, I am now able to share some of the stories that I was not able to before. So one of the segments I think you're really going to like is loss prevention versus YouTubers and kind of what happens behind the scenes when the stores can get a little bit of justice, a little karma for Dear Customer. I also wanted to let everybody know you can now get Dear Customer content on Facebook, Pinterest, TikTok, YouTube, even LinkedIn. So I hope you'll listen. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Dear Customer of the Podcast, hey everybody, it's Sean. I wanted to start the show with listener mail. People contacted me from Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. So, first question, why do old people steal dirt? If you listen to the last episode, Jilly and I caught 3 people stealing dirt. Why do old people steal dirt? Why do people steal anything? I have found that some older people, at some point in their life, decide that they shouldn't have to pay for anything, including things like dirt, batteries, string, kind of little inconsequential items in their view. Be like, well, I'm old enough, I'm not paying for that. And there's just random people in the entire world who don't think that they have to pay for anything either. I remember one guy at Walmart stole worms. We've got the little refrigerator with worms in the little container. Stole them 2 days in a row. Second day, we caught him stealing. He did not have an ID. And then we have to call the police. And he, of course, had something on his record. He had to go to jail for stealing worms 2 days in a row. Compounded by the fact that it was raining both those days. So, people steal dumb stuff. Let's see here. Question number 2. Do you feel bad for stealing the kid's wallet? Fuck no. No. It's a great feeling throwing in the garbage. Let's see here. This question, why did you switch from lotion to ketchup? So if you've followed me on Twitter or listened to me on some other shows, the original ketchup prank was with lotion. So the store manager and I love to do pranks on each other. I learned a lot from him. But one of them you would we used to have phones on the floor before fucking YouTubers had to record themselves saying weird things over the intercom. But you would put a phone, the old black phones, kind of just sitting there just so, and you would put lotion on the top earpiece. And then you would call that phone when you knew somebody was around it, so they would grab it and be like, hello? And then they'd be like, I got lotion on my hands. Lotion on my ear. Now, we switched to ketchup, and the reason why we use ketchup against the YouTubers is I found that ketchup, you cannot get the smell off of you for like a day or two. If you put ketchup all over your hand, you can smell ketchup. It won't come off. Whereas lotion, you're like, all right, I got a little lotion's fine. So that's why we switched to ketchup. How have you had so many retail jobs? This is a good question. So for pretty much my whole career, I've always had kind of like a regular retail job. Manager in some places, employee, and then I've almost always kept a part-time loss prevention job at a different place. Not for the same company, a different company, and I've switched those around a lot more than kind of regular jobs. So over the years, it adds up. I've got so many fun, weird stories from all sorts of different places. Lastly, for the listener email, I wanted to address, who is this show for? The show is for you. You being anyone who deals with Dear Customer. So at times, I might speak in the language of people who deal with Dear Customer, but I also will break it down because we want people to learn things who don't work with Dear Customer or who are Dear Customer. Remember the Ranty Bastard used to have a bunch of different retail, fast food people on his show. It seemed like every show I learned something as a Dear Customer that I should not do. I think the biggest takeaway was not walking in to get an oil change, and when they ask what kind of car you have, don't say red. Figure out what kind of car you have before you go in. What else? On today's show, another episode of loss prevention versus YouTubers. If you dry heave easy, be careful on this episode. Instead of an LP corner, I did a full moon diary. We had a full moon last week. I kind of kept some notes from that whole situation that goes on every once in a while. So, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoy the show. All right, loss prevention versus YouTubers, episode 3. This one is a really funny story that I tell at parties after the fact, but this was like top 10 worst day of all time for me. So let's go back to the scheduler that we talked about the last episode, the computer scheduler. It is a Friday night, and this computer scheduler has all of the loss prevention people leaving at 7:30. The store is open till 10 o'clock. We change our hours so much, I don't even know anymore. So there was 4 of us on, me, Jilly, Paul, and Mike R. And I catch on to these 2 girls, came into the store, and they were both dressed like super nice. They were really well put together. Like they had their makeup done, like how women might have makeup done before they go to a wedding. They had matching outfits. Come in, they go right to costume jewelry, and I was pretty sure that one of them put earrings in her pocket. I wasn't for sure. So they're kind of fucking around the store, and then they start going into the back rooms. So we have like 4 entrances to the back storage areas. They were going into the back one and then like doing like these dances. They were pretending on one time that our shelving unit was kind of like a stripper pole, and they were kind of like dancing on it and taking videos of each other. So they can't be back there. And what we were really doing is I wanted to wait for them to come out and see if they shoplifted anything anymore. So we were letting them kind of going in and out. And they would like run out, go into the bathroom, come back in, go in, make another video. I don't know why anyone think that is fun, but there's millions of selfies in Walmart bathrooms. So you could at least come to our store and take one. I guess it would be better. It's getting close to 7:30 though, and we're all off. We want to leave. So I was like, let's just go out there and kick these girls out and trespass them quick. Retail trespass is just basically a form that says you can't come back to the store for a year. It's almost in no way enforceable, but it's just something we do to get rid of people. So we grab a couple of trespass forms, and we were like getting our stuff to go. So there's 4 of us. I'm a pretty big guy. I'm 6'3", big. Paul was there. He is 6'5", bald black guy. He's big. Mike is tall, curly hair, and then Jilly was with us, and he's small. He's psychotic looking. He has kind of those crazy wild eyes. So we all head out there, and we walk into the back through the stock rooms, so that as soon as the girls come back into the stock room, we're waiting there. And I'm like, hey, we're loss prevention. Can't be back here. We're going to ask you to leave. We're going to trespass you. Let's head up front and you guys can go. And one of the girls she's like, what is this all about? We didn't do anything wrong. I'm like, well, the door says employees only. This really isn't that big of a deal. Let's get you out of here. And I was like, well, I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm pretty sure to the other one that you have some jewelry in your pocket. Like, I don't even care about that. Take it out, throw it on the ground. But you guys are getting trespassed and you got to get out of the store right now. Other girl, the one who wasn't talking, has gone super white. We walk slowly through the doors, back out onto the sales floor where we have 2 bathrooms, and then around the corners, customer service. So we really weren't fucking with them. We were actually doing our job. We were just trespassing them. Didn't care about the shoplifting. We was just going to recover the merchandise, get their names, addresses, and say that you can't come back here for a year for going back there. No big thing, right? So the girl who had gone white, what do you think that she did next? Do you have a guess? Everybody take a guess right now. She did 2 things. First thing she did is she threw up. Then, like a big stream of throw up. She's crying and bawling. Her friend is kind of like trying to grab her. She throws up again. Anyone has ever seen Always Sunny in Philadelphia? There's an episode where Charlie swallows blood capsules and is throwing up. It kind of looked like that. Not quite that forceful, but a lot. It's all over the floor. A lot of it is bloody and brown. I don't know if she ate like 2 Thanksgiving dinners before she got there. And then she throws up a 3rd time. And we found out later she had also peed herself. We're all like, what the fuck is going on? She's bawling, crying, shivering. The other girl is calling us assholes. And I could see how that we would be intimidating, the 4 of us. But, come on, it's a trespass. Like, you're a thrill-seeking YouTube star going into the back room of a store. You get called on it by the employees. And then you fucking throw up 3 times. It was everywhere. It was so stinky. Mike is kind of one of those people who can't be around throw up, so he was kind of like dry heaving. It's also in the middle of a pandemic, and we sometimes wear masks, sometimes don't, because we're loss prevention. And Paul was like whipping on his mask. So at this time, an assistant manager wanders by, and I was like, call 911 and get an ambulance over here. This girl is like super sick in the store. I didn't really know what else to do. Like, she's throwing up, she's not moving, is she going to throw up more? This does not look healthy. So we were all just kind of standing there and like, do you need a glass of water or anything? She's sitting down now at the wall with kind of throw up all around her, and we're on the other side. Customers are like staring, like, yeah, it's okay, it's okay. So it was really weird because the first people who got there were the fire department. I shouldn't say that's weird. That's pretty normal in most communities. When you call 911, that oftentimes the fire department gets there first. So these fire people come in, they're just like, whoa, what is going on? Girl got sick. The other girl was lip jacking us the whole time too. Like, you fucking assholes, I can't believe that you did this. What are you talking about? Ambulance gets there. It's like a whole big thing. They take the girl out on kind of one of those stretcher things. She's just like sobbing and holding her friend's hand, and oh my God. So it's now way past 7:30. The assistant manager comes back and he's like, I'm gonna need you guys to clean it up. I'm like, well, who's on maintenance tonight? It's a fun retail cost-cutting move. Is that they cut maintenance now at 7. So they just have maintenance usually from like 10 to 7 to get kind of the busy part of the day. God, you don't have anyone who can do it. We're all off at 7:30. We're off at 7:30. We gotta leave. Some people get written up for not leaving when they're off. Now we got to stay. I knew that Mike wasn't going to stay, so he was already sick. Paul is a germaphobe, which I guess we all are, for 20 gallons of gross throw up. And then so it was me, and I was like, Jilly, help me get this. We'll get out of here quick. No, he was gone. He had a party. I had to fucking clean up all that puke by myself. It took forever. You get like suited up, these gloves and this thing. We have a whole throw up kit thing that you could do. And then you put this stuff on it. And then you've got like a mini broom. It was so stinky. Of course, even though it was almost 8 o'clock, 8:30 at night now, like millions of people are walking through that area. I'm just like, can you all go away and not get in the goddamn throw up from this girl? I was so pissed off. Get everything cleaned up. I had to clean it like twice just because it just would not quit smelling like throw up. And eventually it was just like, it's going to have to air out here. I don't know what to do. Her dad, the girl's dad, shows up to the store. That manager calls me. He's like, the girl who threw up's dad is here and he wants to talk to someone. He's pissed. I'm like, well, I'm fucking pissed too. I'd love to talk to him. So he comes up and he's all ready. He's like, my daughter said she was accosted here by store staff and got sick. And I was like, I was on that. Do you want to know what she was doing? Come here and let me show you. Now, the girl was over 18. She was almost 20. So I didn't have to tell him anything. But I am a parent. And now that I am a parent, if someone is over 18, I still tell their parents everything because what the hell? It's just a number. I bring them back. I'm like, your daughter was coming back here where it says employees only, going in there and dancing. And she was holding on to this pole that could have collapsed. She endangered herself, endangered my staff. Very, very, very noticeable sign. She's not allowed back here. We're making videos, and she shoplifted, which we didn't charge her for. We got the earrings back. And then we approached her and asked her to stop and said she wasn't allowed in the store anymore, and she threw up all over everywhere, and I just had to clean it up. So what is it that I can do to help you here, sir? Do you want to know what he said? He wanted to know if he had to pay for the ambulance or if the store was. I said, you should fucking make her pay for it. She's the one who was fucking around in here. And I recommended to him that if she's going to continue being a YouTuber, TikToker, doing all these dangerous things, she might want to stop. She doesn't have the stomach for it. So that was a foray. It was a fun story. It was such an awful day. I took like 4 showers in hot water. Just felt like I could smell throw up. Never seen anyone throw up that much. I could smell throw up for like a week. And every time I walk by that part of the store, I'm just like, it still smells like throw up back here. So, dear customer who want to be YouTuber, TikToker, Instagram, Facebook stars. If you can't take the heat even a little bit, don't do it. Don't fuck around at these stores and get sick. You were coming in to make more work for us, and then you made even more work by getting sick.